The paper city beneath the floorboards. The floorboards groaned under Myra's feet, whispering of years long gone, as dust motes danced and shafts of evening light cutting through the cracks of the attic window. She had always loved the attic, with its slanted ceilings and the smell of cedar, varnish, and something older something waiting. Tonight, the air was thick with the musk of forgotten things, of secrets pressed between the walls and folded into the grain of wood. Myra knelt, tracing a worn knot in the oak floor with her fingertips, and felt it give ever so slightly beneath her touch. It was then that she noticed a tiny seam, almost imperceptible, along the edge of one board. Her pulse quickened. With careful, trembling hands, she pried it up. Beneath lay a hollow space, a pocket in the earth and timber, revealing a miniature city crafted entirely from folded paper. Streets curved in impossible arcs, buildings leaned with delicate eccentricity, and tiny lamplights painted in gold glimmered as though capturing the last breath of the sun. She leaned closer, breath fogging the tiny windows, and felt a shiver run down her spine. The city was alive. She could hear the soft shuffle of paper feet, the whispered echo of doors creaking, the faint laughter of miniature citizens. She tried to convince herself it was her imagination, a trick of tired eyes and childhood longing, but the way the wind rattled through the attic and carried tiny, indistinct murmurs told her otherwise. Each alley seemed to stretch farther than the space allowed, each square deeper, folding into itself like a secret within a secret. Her curiosity overcame fear. Myra lifted one of the paper citizens, a small figure of a girl carrying a bundle, and felt a strange warmth pulse through her fingertips. She gasped as the figure moved slightly, turning to look up at her with tiny, folded eyes. The paper girl's lips opened, a whisper escaping as delicate as a sigh of wind. "Help us," Myra's mind reeled. She peered deeper into the city. Bridges arched over canals inked in silver. Markets bustled with paper merchants calling out their wares, and even the smallest windows flickered with painted candlelight. Every fold, every crease, seemed to hum with life. She realized, with a shiver that traveled straight to her bones, that this miniature metropolis was not a toy but a prison. And somehow she had been summoned. Nights passed as Myra returned to the attic, studying the paper city, documenting its streets, and speaking to its tiny inhabitants. They told her stories in a language made of folds and rustling whispers, of a paper mayor betrayed, of a city trapped under the weight of the boards above, of citizens sacrificed for the preservation of the house's secrets. Each night, as she left, the paper city seemed to sigh, the gentle rustle of folded paper following her down the stairs. One evening, as the moon painted silver streaks across the attic floor, Myra noticed the city had grown. Buildings she had not seen before loomed impossibly tall, constructed with minute precision and shadowed corners. Streets twisted in labyrinthine patterns, and the citizens crowded the squares, all looking toward her, tiny faces etched with hope and fear. She realized with a shiver that the city responded to her attention. Her absence made it shrink. Her presence made it grow. She began to fold. Each night, Myra tore scraps from old newspapers, letters, and books, molding them into citizens, lanterns, and shops. Her hands moved with fevered precision, each crease imbued with intention and care. The paper city responded instantly. Streets realigned, bridges arched higher, tiny lamplights flickered brighter. And each night, she felt herself pulled deeper into its world, as if her own life and the life of the city were folding into one another. It was during a particularly stormy night, lightning stabbing across the skies like jagged knives, that Myra understood the full truth. The house she lived in, with its groaning timbers and hollow floors, was not merely old, it was hungry. It fed on stories, on the living essence of those who lingered too long. The paper city beneath the floorboards was both a sanctuary and a snare, a world kept alive only through her devotion and attention, yet it demanded more than she could ever give. As the hours passed and the storm rattled the walls, Myra felt a cold weight in her chest, the thrill of creation mingling with a suffocating dread. The citizens of the city folded with her own fingers whispered, their voices rising into a crescendo of paper rustle, calling her name. She tried to leave, but the boards beneath her feet had become unyielding. The city had grown arms of paper, delicate yet unbreakable, curling toward her, urging her to remain, to become a part of its ever-expanding streets. Morning came, but the sun struggled to pierce the storm clouds. Mira knelt at the floorboards once more, her fingers trembling as she adjusted a crooked spire. The tiny paper citizens watched, their tiny faces full of pleading and gratitude. And as she straightened the final lamplight, she felt it, a small pulse, a heartbeat echoing through the city, through the boards, through the house itself. Weeks later, the house seemed quieter, almost peaceful, but Mira knew better. The city slept beneath the floorboards, but it remembered. And she remembered the city, carried it with her in the rhythm of her own pulse. She could feel it whenever she walked across the floor, in the creak of a board, in the soft draft of air through the cracks. And every night, when the moon cast silver light over the floor, she returned in spirit, tending the streets, listening to the whispers, folding new lives from scraps of paper, knowing that creation and obsession were forever entwined. The attic remained still, dust motes drifting lazily in golden shafts of light. Yet if one listened closely, past the rustle of settling timber and the creak of age, there would always be the faintest whisper of paper feet on the boards. And Mira, somewhere, felt their touch on her own fingertips, and she smiled, knowing that the city beneath the floorboards had never truly slept, and perhaps it never would.